conversations inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more. You are a leader. It's a beautiful quote quoted by John Quincy Adams. So, with this quote, I would like to begin our talk show named Conversation with Consultants with episode 16 of a guest talk series. So, good evening, everyone. I am Aditi Jain, Strategic Alliance Advisor of SK Associates and Group, and your host for today's talk show. Mr. Sidharth, I would request you to please mute yourself. Thank you. Before we begin our talk show, let me briefly introduce SK Associates and Group. We are an ISO certified management consulting firm registered under the MSMED Act 2006 with the Government of India. Our mission is to provide consulting services to student entrepreneurs globally, covering areas such as compliance, operations, marketing, research and development, human capital strategy and operations. Our passion lies in helping these budding entrepreneurs bring their dreams to life and contribute to global economic growth. Entrepreneurship is a catalyst for change and innovation. It is a powerful source that can reshape industries, transform lives, and make the world a better place. We are committed to support student entrepreneurs on their journey, equipping them with the tools, knowledge, and networks they need to succeed. Now, before we begin our show, let's take a moment to introduce our guest for today. It gives us immense pleasure to welcome Dr. Sidharth Halder, Assistant Professor Coordinator Placement, MIT University Jharkhand Ranchi, to this special event. We are truly honored by your presence today and we are thrilled to have you share this momentous occasion with us. So, welcome, Dr. Sidharth.
Thank you so much, Aditi.
Thank you so much. So, the first question I would like to ask is, can you tell us about your journey to becoming a senior professor and HOD at Amity University Jharkhand and how your academic background has shaped your career path?
That's a really good question. Thank you. The first, I would like to thank SK Associates for inviting me for the talk show, and hope this conversation would help the budding entrepreneurs to take away something for this evening. Thank you, Aditi. So let's begin with your question. You asked how did my actually journey begin it. So it's really a great pride for me to share with you all that I was born to a service class family, and my father was a forest officer. And I'm talking, because now maybe I'm in 50 plus, so obviously I'm talking the story which was 50 years or 5 decades ago. So my father was posted in a village which is nearly 150 meters, 150 kilometers away from the city, the capital city of Jharkhand, that is Ranchi. So you can imagine, even if today, I mean, the people who are listening as an audience, viewers, so they would probably able to correlate this fact and statistics that if we start moving maybe 30, 40 or 50 kilometers away from the capital city, how does the economic and the societal scenario changes? And the facilities which seems to be abundantly available in the capital cities, and that simply depletes and fades away like I mean it was never existing even today. So you can imagine a story which has begun 50 years ago in a village which is away from the capital city 150 kilometers. So I'll just like to state you hardly I haven't seen when I grew in my childhood, maybe at the age of 5 and 6, I have never seen the black pitched road, and it was all I mean mud road, a kind of a road which was built by the villagers kind of, and no newspapers, no sanitation facilities, and electricity was, it was far, far away from that particular village. And I mean, the schooling there was, I was very much fortunate. There were two missionary school. So my father got admitted in one of them. And this is how my childhood began. And would you believe or not, if you drop into that school, I still remember that it was half of the roof was blown away by the wind, and we used to sit down on the floor. We used to carry our own mats or something. At that point of time, the mats were not available, so we used to carry the jute bags and with us, and we used to just lay down and sat on the floor. And this is how my childhood education began. And say after a couple of years, then we migrated. We were fortunate to come to the city of Ranchi and got into another school, maybe a little bit bigger than what it was, and passed out my 10th. And then I went to pursue, which is chemistry and mathematics. I was the college topper, and went to then study chemistry as my honors paper in the university. I was university topper. Then went to pursue my post graduation. I had a special privilege to carry two post graduation degrees. One is in the computer application with a gold medal, and another in human resource and person and industrial relation. And then my corporate journey began in the late 90s. And at this point of time, the way the universities and I mean, the awareness among the student is, the level is so high about their career, the way their progress is, the opportunities. There are various platforms. There are so many channels available, but it was rarely been, I mean, told to us. So we have to explore. But anyhow, see, we landed up in the new city, started a new journey. See, the moment though I joined a corporate, a multinational. It was the company from Denmark, and as of now, they are I mean, the world leaders. They are dictating more than 65% of the insulin market as of now. Novo Nordisk is the name of the company. And what I believe is that it is nowhere lesser than managing yourself, and it's in the beginning of your kind of an entrepreneurial journey. Not exactly there where you are offering your services, your products, and you are dealing with the people. But yes, partly yes, you start learning to manage the business affairs. So that is how it went on. Say, spent nearly say 10 years, and went high and high in the corporate ladder. Then I switched on to education, and today, see, in the education also, the quest has never stopped. Even say, one has reached to a kind of a level where you can say, look at him that, well, you are quite well settled and going pretty good. But no, that's not the story. See, we need to keep ourselves abreast with the latest development every day. We have to do research. We have to offer solutions to the corporate houses. We have to do consultancies. We need to do mentoring to the budding entrepreneurs in my university or in my society, in and around. So, in the various ways, I try to keep myself, say, updated, and to keep up the pace and exactly what the university and the society is looking for, be useful to them, and can be able to add values. That is very, very important. See, one thing that I always remember, be it my professional life or so, see, every day, every minute that I spend, and it must add value to my existence and the stakeholders who depend on me. So that's the key.
That was quite interesting, Professor. My question is, what inspired you to pursue a PhD in human resources and specialize in management through PGDM programs?
Sorry, can I hear you once again, please?
Sure. What inspired you to pursue a PhD in human resources and specialize in management through PGDM programs at XISS?
Okay, fine. See, again, then you are drawing me back nearly 25 years ago. There were a few options which were available, and one of them was, say, the exercises. And nevertheless, I would be very honest. It was not a, say, calculated and a conscious decision to choose an HR specialization as such. To be very honest, and at that point of time, but yes, there was a conviction. There was a conviction. At least I have started understanding or the one bottom line. So it is not the human resource management, neither the marketing, nor the finance, or the production, logistics, inventory, IT, or any. None of them is self-sufficient, alone, independently, in isolation to run a business house. So what you need to do is that whichever the discipline or the specialization you happen to choose, you have to be the best, and you have to contribute in your own capacity for the achievement of the organizational goal. So it was basically, I have never tested the marketing or neither the finance nor say the production or anything like that. So it was equally good for me to choose the human resource management. And the decision was made. So now it was the time to make this decision correct. And your commitment, your hard work, and your persistence, and that never ending, say, a quest to settle down and set yourself, whatever that you have gained. So to learn more and more, and that kept me always alive and to do well in the field of HR. And coming back to your another part of your question, see, when it was never on my cards to pursue, say, post a PhD or a doctoral program. It was not on my cards, but I believe that in the field of, say, corporate and the corporate houses, so they are quite happy with the post graduation degree that you have already in hand and doing fairly well. But once we switch over to the field of education, so that becomes a necessity. And necessity in the sense that it is not merely adding another piece of paper to your CV, but it also adds tons on tons of knowledge. It opens up the various dimensions. At least it changes the, say, the angle or the dimension at which or from which you look at the same perspective. So it's an advanced way to look at the same issues and to give and be in a position to give or provide a better solution. So that prompted me to pursue and complete the PhD program.
Great, thank you for sharing. So next question is, as someone deeply involved in academia and placement coordination, how do you view the intersection of mentorship and research in fostering entrepreneurial success?
Can you be a little bit slow, Aditi, on the second part of your question?
Sure. So, as someone deeply involved in academia and placement coordination, how do you view the intersection of mentorship and research in fostering entrepreneurial success?
Oh, well, the answer is pretty simple, and it's all about your willingness. Whether you are willing to do or you are not willing to do. So the line which would segregate whether I'm able to justify the research and my academic delivery along with say the placements. I think it's all about the time management and the willingness, that whether I'm willing to contribute to my organization in various capacities. The first, if there is a conviction and there is a voice and from within, that yes, I have to do, and in fact, I enjoy a lot. It has never been a kind of a tussle, or it's a kind of face off between either of the profiles or the roles. So it's basically the willingness and my ability to manage the time in between the different profiles that helps me. And see, there are very simple techniques also. And probably had been this is a classroom, I could have drawn a few matrix and could have explained a little bit more. But definitely, nevertheless, there is no point, no harm in sharing this point. That see, there are some routine works, and there are mundane works that need to be done on a day to day basis. So I have a team ready. So that particular task need to be delegated. Need not to be involved in the routine activities. And but beforehand, need to empower the team, ensure they're equipped, they're skilled enough, and they're able to deliver under the supervision, and then give them the free hand. So I think a lot of time can be saved. So this is one. There are some petty works, but really, they are important ones. And the impact is probably lesser, but the urgency is very high. And the kind of work that needs to be maybe a kind of a report, a weekly report has to be set. So maybe the urgency is very high. So what I can do is I would like to do that particular task, with the help of my teammates, and share it, and then deliver it, because the urgency is very high, cannot leave altogether. There are few tasks which are very important, but I have some time. I would like to calculate that when I can come back, but they also require some time to be thought over. So I would like to delay those tasks, maybe a couple of hours or maybe a day, if I are altogether in hand. But if I need to prioritize and choose those tasks which are absolutely important as well as urgent ones, so they have to be done by me. And in fact, nobody else could do it. So those tasks I would like to address upon immediately, and I would like to do it myself. So this is how probably one of the way I manage my time.
That was a great response, Professor. So my question is, could you share any memorable experiences where mentorship has made a significant impact on a student's entrepreneurial journey?
Well, the number can actually run down in double digits, of what you have said. But yes, I can recall a few. And in the current profile, in the ongoing batches, and one student who has just passed out in the year 2023. And one day, see, we in Amity University, we have a concept of parent-teacher meeting. And normally, what happens is that the parents uh, they come, and they would say, "My son is not studying well. He's not paying good attention. Sir, can you please help him?" And fine. Usually happen. It is actually been observe, and someone would actually notice that the people who have an entrepreneurial trait, they challenge the status quo, and they are not ready to accept the current world order. So they have a bizarre thinking, and they will think out of the box, out of the world kind of thoughts they have. So at times those thoughts are rational, and if not, then they need to be rationalized. So filtration has to be done. So this was, I think, if I can recall correctly, without quoting the name, this was the story of the second semester parent-teacher meeting. So I, at that point of time, I thought, okay, might be like any other student, the normal student, while see he is also not paying attention, might be spending more of his time with friends, and might be having some other social engagements. But still, I just made a note. It was never on the card that it's going to be so serious. So, so what has happened that after say the parent teacher meeting was over, and in fact, a couple of days time passed away, and in fact, I forgot to discuss and talk, and because I didn't pay much of the attention, but that boy approached me, and that boy approached me and said, uh, and this was the perfect statement, sir, मुझे ना ये classroom वाला पढ़ाई में ना मन नहीं लगता. I don't enjoy the classroom theme, the classroom, what's going on in the classroom. Then, as say head of the department and the professor, then I said, my dear son, then why did you get yourself admitted? This is Amity. You have to pay a lot of attention to your studies, and you, unlike any other university, you need to say study at least 8 or 9 different courses in every semester. And do you understand that what is the rigor and the depth of the, I mean, each course? You need to pay boy a lot of attention. That is what I told. But then again he persisted. Sir, मुझे मन लगा. Then I asked, तुम करना, then what do you want to do? If you do not want to study, then how you tell me that how can I help you? Well, sir, I have an idea. So I want to get started with my own business. Oh, okay. I mean, that was kind. Then it was the moment I realized that, well, this boy is thinking something else, that it is not usual, and probably he is not getting in a comfortable platform where he can actually express. So he said, sir, I have an idea that where I can provide. So we said that I have a lot of interest in automobile, and automobile, cars, bikes, and I have a lot of interest. So, sir, I want to say provide say the servicing facilities and the maintenance facilities and the repairing facilities at the doorstep of my clients. So it was also pretty new for me. So then I told him how. So anything beyond, बोले कि मैंने सर अभी तक मैंने सोचा नहीं है इसके beyond. मैंने कि हम, लेकिन मुझे ऐसा लगता है, but sir, what I find is that sir, if my bike gets punctured or it needs the servicing, suppose sir, if I'm say spending someone is spending time at home on Sunday, hardly someone will get a time on the weekdays, and even that say half the Sunday, if it has been given away for in the sake of say, servicing your vehicle, I think we can save it. People won't mind spending say a couple of hundreds extra, but if they can either relax or they can devote their time to their family. So I think it's a great idea. So, so that was the beginning. So that was the beginning. We sat down. I don't remember that how many say sessions or the hours that we spent together. And that boy was so lovely. That boy was so lovely that he used to stay back. after the college hours, say usually 5:30. That's the time. But he would stay back and बोले, sir आपको जब समय मिलेगा, whenever you have the time. We used to sit back. We used to draw and each and financials, the balance sheet. How does where do we get the money? Even I went out with that boy to say sourcing some funds and searching for some angels who can put in money, and we got it. And बहुत ज़्यादा तो नहीं मिला, लेकिन something around 10,000, 10K. So that's also a big boost. And this is how the story began. And going ahead, I hope that boy is doing well in this particular area. So I haven't kept and I haven't added any juice to this particular story. And what has happened that initially it was never that on the very first sight I was able to identify that this boy has got a great idea. It was never like so this is one of the thing, but yes, it took time. It took some extra pain, and we need to devote some. I mean, as a mentor, and as a mentor, see one quality, one thing that I would like to always mention to you and all my viewers and dear listeners that see if you want to come to the stage of a mentor, then you should do the mentoring without any expectations. So that's how, if your heart actually allows you to say help someone and use all the knowledge that you have, probably then you are a mentor. So it's basically a passion, and it's not been equated with something what that comes in and that goes out from you as a skill or as your advice or your consultancy. It's not in a balance sheet and equation. So this is beyond, say, expectations. That's where the mentorship will actually begin with. And probably if you can call for and and take a call that yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. So I do not know for what I was mentoring. I never knew that and used all that whatever that small knowledge that I have say gathered from the different corners because of my teachers, parents, and my family, even my students. They have also taught me. Uh, I mean, everything that was used, and probably that helped that particular boy to shine and to pursue his passion. This is how the things actually moved on with me. Yes, over to you, please.
Thank you for sharing. It was quite inspiring. So, in your role as the placement coordinator, how do you incorporate research skills and entrepreneurial mindset into career development programs for students?
Oh well, that's actually this particular question is also divided into two parts. My role as a say coordinator of the placement head of the university, and it has got a different stint altogether. And see, lot of say this and this. I mean, the back end work has to be done before actually the placement season would begin, and that would right away start with the collecting the data of the students, the relevant data of the student as of now, as of date, and then it would go on. The journey would actually begin with contacting with your, say, the corporate houses and inviting them, negotiating them, and matching the relevant profiles, appropriate profiles, and then the actually the interviewing process, the selection process that would begin. Now, with these days, what I find is probably online interviews, selections. That this has also come into fashion, and many a times that has also helped the even to place my students into the multinational companies. Might be they are sitting at Japan or US or Germany. Doesn't matter. But yes, this is actually getting possible uh, as a placement coordinator. Now, see, in the profile of say the placement coordinator, see, there is. I would like to mention before I answer the second part of your question. So there is something called a concept called Bloom's taxonomy. See, the Bloom's taxonomy actually it says there are there are six levels. One of the level is that once I have say understood, once I have remembered, understood, applied, I should be able to create and synthesize the knowledge, and which I might have gained in the field of human resource management. See, the art of managing people in the workplace, the same art can be utilized very nicely when probably I'm negotiating with the corporate houses. So it's all about the application part and the customizing according to the situation. So this is how it helps. The research would actually help me to find out. I have learned the art of researching. So the research would actually, this art, once I have learned, then it would also help me not only to find more companies, maybe to match the profiles, maybe to find out the newer ways which can enhance the impact of placement in terms of numbers as well as the CPC. So, and overall the relationship building, and there are several dimensions which can be actually added upon. So once I have learned the art of research, it needs to be customized and applied in the recent profile. So that is how the Bloom's taxonomy is getting applied. So, and then coming back to the entrepreneurial journey part. So, in this due process of say placement, see, many a times, see, there are students who realize because I have opted for placement or I'm appearing in the placement drives or the campus drives, it's because of the say the peer pressures or maybe just to satisfy the expectation of their family and kind of. But once they come to me and they get in touch in a one-to-one interaction, then the things get much more clearer. And it is see, be it say a great corporate life that I help a student of my university to excel with, or I help him in other way to start his own business journey. So either of the way, I'm helping the student to excel in his career. So the both way, either with a corporate house or as an entrepreneur. So I'm in, see, I'm probably, I think that I'm doing the justice as a student of Amity. Thank you. Any other question, please?
That was a great response, Professor, and I was left thinking for a long while, as you can see. Okay. So again, what strategies do you employ to encourage students to engage in research activities that have practical applications in entrepreneurship?
Again, I think there is something with the voice part. I don't know. When even with Aditi also and you too, whenever you were reaching towards the end of your question, I don't know. I'm missing out a couple of the words. So I'm
Okay.
requesting
I'll
one thing, and this has happened to, not once or twice, more than
I understand. It's happening with
I
me.
don't. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Can I have the pleasure to hear
My
one?
question is, what strategies do you employ to encourage students to engage in research activities that have practical applications in entrepreneurship?
Um, mm, See, it's difficult to draw. It's difficult to draw a connection or a kind of an
For
motivation.
instance, drafting business plans, maybe like we used to do when I was there.
Yes, yes, I remember. I remember. That's the part. But see, if I can, if I have understood your question correctly, that strategies to encourage the students to engage into research activities, so that it would help them to excel in their entrepreneurial journey. The kind of question. Okay, and oh, well, and maybe at the tender age. Tender age is usually been told to the I mean, in connotation, maybe who are in the say 12, 13, or 14. That is what a tender age. But yes, in the graduation also, in the first year, second year, and with the National Education Policy 2020 being placed, it's now all UGs have been converted into a 4-year program. So even if the students I have found they are into their second year, and there are exceptions, and the exceptions are always an exception. Let's keep them aside. And there is always a bell curve. So some of them are exceptional, maybe 5% of the population in the batch. So keeping them aside, but the majority of the people, they are yet to say zero down their goal. And so actually the challenge lies with that majority of the population in the students fraternity. And see, one of the best way, the one and the simplest strategy that I adopt with the student is, there are several ways how you can actually bring the, you can spark the interest. So on the day one, if you ask a student to say publish a paper, say in the Elsevier, or maybe Taylor and Francis, or maybe something ABDC, a kind of a journal. I think it's a fiasco, and no way. That can be actually done. So what is more important is now, say probably what I'm doing a research myself. I'm doing a research myself. So I would pick one of the student, or maybe their couple of the friends. Then I'll ask them, well, you come with me, and you do a task with me. I won't let them know that what exactly that is going to happen. Well, okay. See, I will give them a very small task, which they can actually complete 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and they will come back. But then I will say, no. See, you have done a great job, but you need to modify. You go back, come back tomorrow once again. So this is one. See, the exercise would actually begin with a very small part, and then say after the say 15 days or come and say interaction with so many sessions, automatically the student would come up and say, sir, actually sir, why are you making us slog so much? Why are you making us slog so much? Why I'm sweating so much? And sir, इससे क्या होगा? Then I would actually tell him, like, you see, do you know that? Then one thing I would like ask him, uh, except the LinkedIn or the Facebook, do you have your name on the rep? If I write Aditi Jain, so where are how many hits and the returns that I'm going to get? Then the boy would actually, apart from LinkedIn and Facebook, and maybe your Instagram or any other profile, the social media profiles, in सबको किनारे, just keep them aside. How does this world know you? So like, do you want this? Do you want yourself to be remembered this by world? Say, suppose if I said, if I write say Manohar Singh, Dr. Manohar Singh. So how many hits and returns? Well, Dr. Manohar Singh has delivered a lecture at this place. He was the keynote speaker, and he has published so many research papers in the national and international journals. He has so many copyrights, patents, and like those. So this is how the world is actually going to remember you, unless you are the prime minister, isn't it? So this is how the journey would actually begin with. This one of the and I do not know if there is any ready-made formula or any syrup that is available in the market that I would put it into your mouth and suddenly Shravan will actually get converted into from a non-researcher to a great researcher. So I believe that such an invention is yet to happen. So that's a great area also. So it actually a one-to-one basis. It's a one-to-one basis, and everyone has got a different ignition point. And as a mentor, as a teacher, as a professor, I need to understand that what would excite and inspire an individual student. So individualization is the key.
Thank you for sharing it. So, how do you balance your responsibilities as a senior professor, HOD, and placement coordinator while also providing mentorship to students and conducting research?
See, I think I answered previously. As long as as long as I'm enjoying, and believe me, there is no dearth of time, and there is no question of balancing. And if I can just quote back, I learned this maybe 7 or 8 months ago. Actually, I heard that someone great. What happens is that if the words are spoken by someone great who has already attained world stature, so that carries more value. But believe me, I have been practicing it for years and ages together. A lot on one say a press person, paparazzi, he asked Elon Musk that, oh, how do you keep yourself motivated? So this was the question, and on the it was seen the talk show, and Elon Musk said, "Sorry, question." So that was his. Then again, this person, the press person said, "Sir, I asked, how do you keep yourself motivated?" And uh, Elon said, "Sorry, I didn't understand." Um, well, sir, I want to know how do you keep yourself motivated? How you're doing so much of great job. How do you keep yourself motivated? Then Elon said, "See, if I have said I know what I'm supposed to do, where comes the question of motivation? It has to be done, means it has to be done. That simple as that." So even if let's say everyone has got 24 hours, and that needs to be apart from say 6 to 7 good hours of sleep. Say all the time is the same for everyone. And as long as I believe, this is my personal belief, and that as long as I'm enjoying doing the series of tasks, I think, and I'm adding value. I'm very much happy. See, if you remember, I think the students, if they are from the graduation, and they must have learned one say the very basic and entertaining theory of motivation, Maslow's, Abraham Maslow's need hierarchy theory. And one of the highest level is that need for self-actualization. And see, the need for self-actualization is something that I understand, that when I know that my work, my contribution is adding value and to this world, maybe to this organization, and I know that if I am why I am born and what I am supposed to do. So if that is true, if I can understand my potential and my passion, my happiness, and the kind of work which gives me a lot of happiness, so I think I'm relaxed. I'm very happy. So it's not all about the balancing. It's nothing called balancing. It's all about the willingness part. That if you say and never quit, and that's in the quotes, never quit. And whatever the task that you have, see, even if something that seems prima facie, it's very difficult and kind of impossible, and it's need not to reject.
That was an exciting response,
It's
Professor.
not necessary that I should reject it immediately, isn't it? I can hold it back for a while, and maybe after some time, let me think of once again, and let me give another thought to the work in hand before reacting to it and saying no straight away, and screaming and scratching the hairs all together and making everyone concerned. Don't do it. So just have a little bit of a patience, and say a proverb is there, no? Say the nerves of steel, that what you need to have. So hold back, Captain Cool, isn't it? Don't mind when take the game to the, I mean, to the last ball. It's a live wire. So unless the last ball is thrown, the match is yet not over.
That was the right
I hope
answer,
I answered your
Professor.
question.
And as you said, truly, patience is the
I'm
core of
unable to hear
everything.
you, please. Sorry?
Am I audible right now?
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you.
I don't know. I just lost the voice.
You just check your network once.
Uh, I just lost. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
If yes,
Am
please
I
Yes,
go
yes,
ahead
audible?
and
you
say.
are.
Okay.
But I am unable to hear you suddenly.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Just a second.
Okay.
Uh,
Sure.
in call message report a problem setting. Where do I get the?
Am I audible now, Professor?
Sorry. What should I do? Should I join once again? Disconnect and join once
Sure.
again?
You can rejoin once.
Okay. Okay.
Am I audible now, Professor? Yeah, you are on mute, Professor.
Yes, now it's great. Now I can hear you, bro.
Okay, that's
Thank you
great.
very much.
So my question was, as an academician and mentor, how do you stay updated with the latest trends and development in entrepreneurship and management?
Well, see, the one there are several. It is not. It cannot be done just through one source. Say the one is that say affiliation to some of the bodies, the professional bodies who keep on say conducting some of the events, seminars, I mean, workshops. So try to attend as per the merit and the availability of the time, subscribing to say the newsletters and maybe HPR, just for sake the people would be able to connect it much more easily. That's why I'm putting say, and almost all the renowned universities and the institutions, they have their newsletters and the daily feeds that is there. This is one. And see, say the journals, say subscribing to some of the journals, and fortunately, see, being a part of the great institution like Amity, so they give you access to lot of databases and the journal databases, and one of those journals which are very very costly, otherwise I have to actually end up paying quite a huge money in terms of either pounds or dollars. So they are freely accessible thanks to Amity. So these are the ways, and maybe another way is that what I do is the collaboration, the interdisciplinary collaborations, and maybe say the person, maybe my core expertise and domain is in the field of say HR, and just for say example, and it's an HR. So never mind if I say collaborate with a person from the field of IT, and together with a multidisciplinary approach, we can say find an intersection which is somewhat useful and has never been thought of, kind of. And one more aspect that one needs to always keep alive is please stay as close to the corporate houses. See, what happens is my research is actually successful and would be considered as to be useful if just see every research paper that is being published, it is useful or should be considered useful actually if they are able to provide a solution and that is adopted by maybe any organization. That would be actually one of the way how it should be evaluated. Now, at this point of time, say if I'm staying close with close connection with the corporate houses and the organization, see they have some problem statement, and see that problem statement is a spark, it's a trigger for me to understand that what innovative solution that I can provide to the organization, and then going back to my own thought process, that is the existing conventional thoughts which are already existing, and then trying to add on something new in the form of a technology or some kind of a software or another discipline which can be brought in to find a solution. So this is how the things roll on. So there can be several sources with the help of which this idea would actually spark to you. And as you said that for the purpose of entrepreneurship, see, it's very important. It's very important that say there is no harm. There is no harm in say copying the idea and then once again adding some more features and say finally launching your own product. There is no harm in. There is no harm in. But if I am able to say pick a problem statement, and maybe it is in the corporate houses or a particular cross section of the society, or it may be any walk of life. that if I'm able to pick a problem statement and then find, say, technically and financially feasible solution, and the solution that can be scaled up tomorrow into the world, and I can expand my customer base, and which is also pocket friendly, and there are the dragons in the say the entrepreneurial world who are ready to invest and believe in my idea. I'm sure that I'm going to shine as an entrepreneur, no doubt about it. So there is no restriction on a bar that how many disciplines, how many domains that would actually come to you as a rescue, and and who would help you to make your entrepreneurial journey as a success. So there is no limit to it. In fact, it should be all divergent and wide open. My thought process should be actually wide open. Thank you. Any other question, please?
Yeah, that was a great session talking to you, Professor. Moving
Thank you.
ahead, I
Thank
would
you.
like to express our sincere gratitude to Dr. Sidharth Halder, Assistant Professor and Coordinator of Placements at Amity University Jharkhand, for being our guest for today at Conversation with Consultants. Your presence and engagement helped us make it a success. Thank you for providing your insights and your inspirational journey. Further, we would also like to thank our audience for listening patiently throughout the event. Thank you everyone for joining with us today and hope that everyone has gained some knowledge from this event.
The pleasure is mine too. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to the talk show.
Sure.
I'm thankful to SK Associate.
Sure.
Have a good
The
day.
recording
Good
shall be
night.
streamed
Pleasure.
live and shared across YouTube, and the link shall also be shared to all the participants and to you, Professor. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a great day, Professor.
Someone has just prompted that if I can share my LinkedIn profile. I
Okay.
think I'm available as SIDH with the same name, SIDH Sidharth Raja Halder on the LinkedIn profile with Amity University. Thank you, Narendra sir.
Sure. Have a great day, Professor. Thank you.
Thank you.